Welcome to Larry's Library. We are back in the unboxing room. Thought the cat was going to be on camera, but yeah. She's just going to distract me. Anyway, I have June's hauls are all here. My package I was waiting from IST is here. And I got a couple other things I want to go over first. So, check it out. Check this guy out. I have... How's that showing up?
Not bad.
Not bad? This is nice hardcover. Sal Buscema, Comics Fast and Furious Artist. This is from 2010, this book. I had never heard of it before. And my son-in-law, Reed Chancellor, gifted this to me. I think I rescued it from a... Second in Charles Bend is probably where it was bound for. But yeah. Love Sal Buscema. I know Sal mainly from, probably his Incredible Hulk run with Bill Mantlo. That was my first exposure to the Hulk was during that run. So I got fond memories of that. And what else? Of course, Rom. He drew most of that series. And that was great stuff for me. So, happy to get this. Love that cover. Look at that. Now, I started reading the new Savage Sword of Conan, and I'm talking about the magazine-size comic. Sorry, the cat's distracting me. The magazine-size comic from Titan. And I've read the first issue, liked it quite a bit. I know there was some printing problems, and that they had to get through, and I think that's probably improved with later issues. Don't know yet, I haven't read them. I'm trying to collect them all. I think there's the 9th issue's going to come out in about a week or two, I think. So I've been grabbing up the missing ones, and I think I finally completed it now with this one I picked up here. Now this came from a local comic shop, and man, they did not know a thing about magazine-sized books. They had this shoved in a shelf like this with hardbacks. And so you got a little bump here where the hardback was pressed against it because you don't store magazines vertically on the shelf with hardbacks. What the hell? What kind of comic shop does it? Wow. One of my local ones does it. And look at this. It's not even in a bag, I don't think. It looks like it's just wrapped in saran wrap to me. This is this is Savage Sword, the new one, issue 2. How's that glare? Is that okay? Mm-hmm. And I haven't even opened it yet. I got it a few days ago. I thought, well, I don't think this is a bag. I'm going to open it on camera because it looks to me like it's saran wrap. But I guess it isn't saran wrap because it is sealed. I don't know. Is this the way they come from the publisher? Anybody knows the answer to that? Weigh in on that in the comments, please. But I don't know. It's like a really thin bag with no opening. Very strange. I mean, maybe that's the way Titan does it. I don't know. But it looks like it's still in good shape. And they only charged me cover, so I guess I'm going to be thankful for that because this is technically a back issue from last year, Edges are a little iffy. But you know what? I didn't buy it to have a pristine copy. I'm not that guy. I bought it to read. But I do like to keep it in as good a shape as I can. Look at that back cover. Isn't that awesome? So that's issue 2. Now I think this eBay package contains the rest of the Savage Swords I need in my missing run here. And I know some of you who've watched the channel are thinking, what are you talking about, missing run? You don't collect single issues. Well, I don't. Basically, I've switched to hardcovers. But I decided I'm going to collect Savage Sword as singles. Now, if it ever comes out with a giant hardcover, I'm likely to double dip on that, okay? But I don't know that that's ever going to happen. And I missed out on Savage Sword the first time around, back in the late 70s and through the 80s. I had a disdain for black and white comics, and I still prefer color, But I decided this time I wasn't going to let this one get away from me. Because before I decided to really try to collect Savage Sword, the original book, it was all the way up into the 80s or 90s and the issue run, and I was like, wow, never going to get all these. And I know it's an anthology series, so you don't technically have to have them all. But a lot of the stories continue from issue to issue. So, whatever. So, anyway, that's what I've decided to do. We're going to open this up. Now, first thing about it is, I'm not going to say who this eBay vendor is until they're vetted, and when it's the first time I bought from this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this held up, if it's packaged well. You can check it out for yourself. And if I like the results, I'll put a link to his eBay store down in the comments. So first thing I noticed is this is in a padded manila envelope, which is weird. But it does feel firm inside, but not like a cardboard box. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't ship something like this, but let's see how it come out. If I can get it open. Gently score it. I want to get the magazine inside. Okay, now the description on eBay said that it was sandwiched in cardboard, and that's exactly what we have here. I guess overall it isn't too bad. Now what I would have done is I would have taped all these together, you know, so they couldn't shift around so much. But not everyone is as anal about packing as I am, obviously. Let's see here. So they didn't spare the tape on the inside part. But I would have put the whole package together a little bit better than what they did. I'm not going to keep these bags anyway, but I don't want this tape to hang up on something. Because I will put these in Mylar pretty quick. But this is issue 6. Get out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get it out of these poly bags and put it in Mylar. But it is a new poly bag at least, and it looks perfect. Issue 6. Probably reuse these. Alright, and here is issue 7. Get it free. I might speed some of that up. Anyway, here we have issue 7. Looks pretty great. Now, I don't have my eBay order in front of me as far as what I ordered, so I'm not sure that was all supposed to be in there. But if it was, if that's a complete order, this vendor passes my test. I mean, I would have probably packed it a little better, but it did survive, so that's something. So anyway, that is, actually, I'll tell you right now, this is cyberspacecomics.com is the vendor name on eBay. But I'll put that down in the description. Now, this is from, that's right, InStockTrades.com, who owns Lunar Distribution. They're one and the same company, in case you didn't know. There's actually some people who don't know that. I thought everybody knew that by now, but I was reading Comic Collector, I think, subreddit, and somebody was like, we didn't understand the relationship between these companies. And somebody had to break it down for me and said, well, InStock Trades is owned by the same people that own Lunar Distribution, and also that own Tales of Wonder, and that also own DiscountComicBookService.com, DCBS. So the question came up in that Reddit thread, well, can you still call that a small business? And so I said, well, technically anyone that has more than, who has under 500 employees or something like that is a small business. So I guess technically they're a small business, but that seems to me like it's encroaching on a medium-sized business. I mean, you know, although I understand they just lost the distribution for DC. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if I didn't understand the article. I don't know if they've lost all distribution for DC or just part of it. I don't know. Let's check it out. So, show you how this insert is. Check it out. Have wrap on top. You got this cool ass insert. If I can get it out. More than one. We'll save that one for a second. But in this insert, I have Elric, The Balance Lost, Volume 1, More of the Michael Moorcock library. Is that working?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a standard size hardcover. I prefer it to be bigger, you know. What are you going to do? But they are nice little books. I've got several more of these. The paper's nice. It's a matte paper. Just love that matte paper. I wish everybody would use this instead of the glossy stuff. So happy to get that. And I got Canto Volume 4. I got one more of these standard size hardcovers to get before I have them all. And check this out. This is Richard Corbin's Dimwood. That working okay? Yeah. This is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys know down in the comments, I think this is the last of Dark Horse's Richard Corbin collection in hardcover form. This is a deluxe hardcover. It's oversized. Check it out. Yeah. And it matches all of the previous ones. The Din stuff. There were 4 or 5 of them. I have all those. Great stuff. Richard Corbin was a pioneer. He was extraordinary. And I have no idea what Dimwood is, but I'm happy to have it. Now, last but certainly not least, check it out. More bubble wrap in between the two insert layers. Love those custom inserts. See if I can get it out now. May have to let gravity help. Well, the insert stayed, but the book came out. That's all right. I'll pry that insert out later because I want to keep those. But check it out. This is Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 6. So happy. Hopefully that's not too glary for you. I love this George Perez cover, inked by Joe Sennett. I just love it. And this this logo, this style of FF logo, is the one I'm most familiar with and the one that feels like the Fantastic Four to me because this is the era that I first read Fantastic Four. It was late 70s, probably around issue 190 something like that, maybe 180 something. I don't know exactly, but I know that it had this style lettering, and it was before Byrne took over. Don't know what that was. Storm alarm? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I am super stoked to get this. I think one more FF Omnibus, and we will collide with the John Byrne Omnis, which I have. So probably I will have to get Volume 7 when it comes out. And it will partly double dip into the John Byrne FF Omnis. Pretty sure that's how that's going to have to work. But that's okay, because I love this material, and I am doing a complete classic FF read through all the way to the John Byrne era and through that. So I was waiting on this baby, because I didn't want to read my John Byrne Omnis, which much of that is a reread for me, because I did read those as they were coming out, but I never completed it. So I'm going to complete them all in omnibus format, but I'm going to read all the classic stuff first. It came before John Byrne. So happy to get these. And that is my haul for this month. If you haven't seen my Heroes Con autograph haul video, check that one out. I put that up yesterday, I think. But I'll link it up too. But this is what I got. I got some Savage Swords. I got some Elric. And I got more classic Fantastic Four. Love this stuff. Thanks for watching.